God bless you. You may be seated. Today, I don't know, in Africa, I can say in Africa, social media blackmailers, if you call this man J. Israel, he's a king and a father. All other ones they learn.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you. This is a continuation of While I Was Away. A lot happened. And this episode, I want to treat the humiliation that J. Israel suffered at the hands of Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin at Mercy City, Nigeria. It is no longer news. I did one, the one he visited, one in which he visited Dr. Chris Okafo. And here today, I'm so sure that so many of you have watched it, but you may have to watch them again and also listen to the few things I have to say.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
That I have to share. Like I say, it is my first time to be here, and it's highly unfortunate that most of the things that are still being peddled on the internet today by certain bloggers that I'm not going to mention their names because we don't want to give them the clout. Most of the things that they peddle on the internet and most of the things that they say online are actually things that come from within the camp, and they are things that come from those who are close to the prophet of God. Now, allow me to say, Prophet Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin, Papa J, I arrived here on Friday. I arrived here on Friday. And then on Saturday, yesterday, I attended the prayer mountain. I just wish all the bloggers and all the journalists can come and have the first-hand experience that I had yesterday. It will change their minds. I saw God in this place yesterday. I felt the presence of God in this place yesterday. And even today as I'm here, I'm not saying what I'm saying because I'm under duress. I'm not saying what I'm saying because I'm looking for favor or anything. I'm saying what I'm saying because I believe it is going to clear my conscience. But allow me to reiterate to say, there are people that the devil has planted in this commission, and the devil has brought them very close to the prophet. And these are the same people who are bringing destruction to the ministry. These are the same people who are bringing confusion to this commission. I know that within now and the next few weeks or the next few months, as the Lord wills, God is going to pick them out one after the other. It is very disheartening to know that the one that Jesus brought the closest, the one that Jesus trusted with his money, was the one that the devil used the most. It is mostly those that dine at the table with Jesus that will bring the most betrayal. I pray today that may God expose everyone who is planted by the devil, by the enemy, to bring destruction, to bring disorder to this commission in the name of Jesus. I'm going to say this before I sit down. It is very dangerous to open your mouth and speak against anybody who says he is from God. Now I'm going to explain why I'm saying who says. The reason why I'm saying who says is because you were not there when God was talking to him. You were not there when whoever called him was talking to him. A couple of weeks or a couple of months ago, I fell sick. I was admitted in the hospital, and there were news that broke on the internet that even myself, I began to see those who were just saying we love you by their mouths. Because the day that, have you ever read your own condolence messages when you're still alive? If you have never read your own rest in peace messages, you'll never understand why I'm standing here today. If you have never read a message on your own WhatsApp phone where somebody is saying, it is unfortunate that you have died, may your soul rot in hell. On your WhatsApp, it is unfortunate, and you realize these are people that I know. I had a wake-up call on that day. I had what is called a near-death experience. I believe God gave me a second chance. And the second chance that God gave me, He clearly said to me, go back. I have called you for my work, but before you can preach to anybody, go back and correct everything that you have ever said, and correct everything that you have ever spoken with your mouth against my servants. Now, many people will never understand this, but personally, because I know that this is a personal encounter that I had with God, I need no approval from anybody to say the things that I'm saying. But I came all the way from South Africa to say to Papa J, Prophet Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin, I stand before you today with all humility. I stand before you today. I don't have enough words to express how much my heart feels that I'm standing in front of you today, and you have given me an opportunity just to stand before you. Even if I can die after this, I don't mind. Because I know that my part is done, and I will go and be with my Father in heaven knowing that my heart is clean. I'm here today to say to you, I am deeply, sincerely sorry. And I apologize for everything that I said against you. And I'm here to ask for your forgiveness. I believe that maturity is not only displayed by obvious ways, but maturity is also displayed when you realize that you are wrong, and you don't only realize that you are wrong, but you take a step of faith. When I first reached out to Prophet Jeremiah, I did not know whether he was willing to talk to me or he was not, but something was pushing me. And I said to him on the phone when I was in South Africa, I said, please accept my apologies, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes just for you to speak, because I believe that when you speak, just your word only to say you have forgiven me is enough for my entire life to be fixed and for everything in my life to be solved. Papa J, I humble myself before you today, and I apologize for everything that I said. I believe it was during my days of ignorance. And I'm asking for your forgiveness. I know many people across the world will never understand this, but it is between me and my God. And I also want to say to everybody who's here and everybody who's watching across the world, join me also if you have ever said anything against Papa J, against any servant of God anywhere in this world. Maybe God has just afforded you as well this opportunity for you to make it right with his servants. Papa J, I met your mercy. I met your mercy.
God bless you. You may be seated. Today, I don't know, in Africa, I can say in Africa, social media, blackmailers, if you call this man, J. Israel, is a king and a father. All other ones they learn. Today, I am not surprised for his coming. Why? Because this is what God has sent us to do in this life and to receive in this life. Today is the resurrection of our Father Jesus Christ. When Jesus was about to die, he said, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. Now, he made a statement here, if I'm not mistaken, that the people that who are eating Jeremiah's money, the same people that saying rubbish out there for him to say, I am not doubting it. How many persons were with Jesus? Only 12. 3 persons dance more than what a Christian supposed to dance. They dance out of bar. Number 1, Judas Iscariot. Number 2, Peter denied him. Number 3, Thomas doubted him. If people that are working with Jesus Christ, the Son of God himself, and people are also now do rubbish against the Son of God, who am I? Jesus says, he said, as you are following me, prepare yourself for critics. But one thing I believe in life, those that who are criticizing me or calling whatever name you want to call me, they are all my promoters. I have been saying it time without number. He is one of my promoters. Why? Because today is the one that coming to me, that who insulted me some time ago. He's the one that came to me, who come here in order to say, I am sorry. Is it not these prayers that we have been praying? Let our enemies, wherever they are, let them come and confess. Today, I am not surprised about what he is saying here.
I want to start first and foremost from pointing out to you how long he was made to kneel in the place. So one thing I want to point out is that you saw how long Jeremiah made him to kneel. I dare tell you that was intentional, and I'm so sure that you know that it wasn't as if J. Israel contacted Jeremiah directly, or that it was J. Israel that brokered their meeting, according to what Chris Okafor said, that he was the one that organized the meetings between J. Israel and others. We wouldn't know how many others that are left, whether he went to meet Iginla, because he spoke against a lot of Nigerian pastors and prophets.
Thank you so much.
You know, quickly, like, our greatest weapon and tool should be forgiveness. When he reached out to me, he told me about this encounter. And after the encounter, and he was in touch. And I told him from my heart that I forgive whatever it is that happened and that was said in the past. What is important, the Bible said there is joy in heaven when one comes to the kingdom. And it's because of what the enemy has also seen in him. That's why the enemy tried to hijack what God wants to do with him. But thank God, God has his own way. He had an encounter with God after the near-death experience. I said, come, Sam, I forgive you. Whatever has happened, whatever that was said in the past. I said, not only that, that I will also reach out to everyone that you are not able to reach out to. So welcome always. You're totally forgiven. The past is over. God bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. Please sit down.
We also understand that part of what he felt at, what is this called now, Dr. Chris Okafor's church, he also felt in Jeremiah's church. He felt God also in Jeremiah's church. And I'd like you to understand that God is not a feeling. God is not about feeling. God is real. It is not, sometimes you can feel emotional, sometimes, you even want to feel him, you want to feel his presence, and then it's like you're not feeling him. That doesn't mean that he is not there. Our God is king, and he decides what he does. I'm not going to stand here to tell you that J. Israel did not feel God in these places, but we want to be sure the kind of feelings that actually took place, what he felt. The second thing I noticed in this video is that J. Israel may likely cause another trouble in Jeremiah's camp. Now, if you listen to him very well, he only came short of naming those, in quotes, that supplied him the information that he was dishing out on social media in those days. But then I also, I keep saying that Jay didn't talk so much about these guys in Nigeria. He only, made mention of them sporadically and all that. The person he really dragged to the point that the man had to run away from South Africa was Alf Mikau. And charity, they say, begins at home. If J. Israel knew, he's telling us the truth, that God told him to go and make peace with everyone that he offended. Now, he should start from Alf Mikau, because that was the first person. He started from Alf Mikau, and we thought he was going to stop at Alf Mikau. He entered Bushiri, he entered Hubert Angel, and so many others. He entered Emmanuel Makandiwa. So I thought he should have started from that region. Or like I questioned the other time, would there be any other physical reasons why this man came to Nigeria? Could there be other things? Is there any form of fraternity or fraternization? Not fraternity, please. Fraternization that is necessary for him to relaunch himself and his almost dying ministry. Now, there was a statement he made. He said, a man who says he's from God. So all of them, including himself, say they are from God. He says he heard from God. In the beginning of his campaign, he said God told him. Now, this time around, God told him to expose Africa and his, likes. And this time around, the same God has made a U-turn and has again told him to come and beg all those that the same God told him earlier to expose. So you understand why he said a man who says he's from God. But the only thing I don't agree with him is that you say you're from God, your fruit must prove it. J. Israel was roundly and soundly humiliated. And that is, before I forget, it is the modus operandi of these people. When Cassie had issues with Jeremiah, and Jeremiah hid the information, he thought he had silenced it, he thought he had deleted it, but internet is so deep. Internet is a very deep well. Now, when Cassie was threatened, Cassie was invited to Jeremiah's church, and before you know it, Cassie was made to kneel and beg Jeremiah. And you see how he stood over him and gloated over him. Now, when October came out that year, and according to her recent stories, she was feeling frustrated, and eventually she was promised 20 million to come and do, according to her story, to come and do damage control apology. And, like Cassie was to do a video. He did a video, according to him, and they said it was not enough, that he must go to the church. And so he had to go to the church and knelt down and was captured on camera. It was filmed so that the members of the church would see. And those outside of the country will see how, innocent their prophet was. But eventually everything was busted. Now, Otobo, the same thing. She must come to the church to come and do it. And she actually did it. Now, and you know that these are the things, even Bushiri and other, these are their ways of operation, their modus. Few years back, about 2 years ago or so, Mark Davids, called Suleiman out and dragged him. And the next thing we saw was the same Mark Davids in a subdued nature and manner, like a fowl that, like a chicken that fell in, inside the well with water. He was calm and he started speaking the language of me and my father in the Lord, we have settled, and I am here to announce to the whole world that I allowed my emotion to get over me and all that. At the end of the day, he admitted that he was giving $60,000. Man, if you give me $60,000 now, oh boy, and I know what I will use it for. But that is it. So this is their modus. Now, when Chris Okafor said he was the one that Jay Israel contacted first, Jay did not do this kind of kneeling in Chris Okafor's church. He knelt, but not this long. But the fact was that he went. Also, he was captured, and he said things that would make anybody who heard it to believe that, oh, this boy, you crossed your boundary indeed. And so, Jeremiah's church, as the king of the prophetic court today, he said he is now the young TB Joshua, So, and he's now a senior prophet. TB Joshua was senior prophet, so now he is senior prophet Jeremiah. So the senior prophet took him time to come and had to let the young man experience the pain of kneeling, so that it will sink in. You worship, you will enjoy it very well, and that's immediate. Now listen, my job here is not to police anybody. And I think that those of you, there are some persons who would come on my page and will be like, you are too soft, you are not this, you are not that. And I have always told you, I can't insult anybody, I don't insult them. I remain this way, natural. And you understand that I'm not passing judgment, I'm only making commentary. Now, so, if we don't know them by their fruit, then something is wrong. If we don't know them by the things that they project, then something is wrong, all right? So, it is quite important that when a person say he is from God, and what he is projecting is not things that should come from God, then that person should be made to actually tell us which God sent him. Because our God is not mammon. And some of the things, most of the things that we see on television that they display to us, on social media these days, are things that have to do with mammonism. And God is not mammon, and his fruits are fruits of righteousness. So I quite agree with him when he made that statement, a man, whoever that says he is from God. But what I don't agree with is that you should, Apostle Paul withstood Peter to his face. Now, but I'm not even confrontational, we are not confronting people. He keep now mentioning social media bloggers. And you see what is his name? Jeremiah said. Jeremiah said that J. Israel is the king of blackmailers. If you are looking for internet blackmailers, he said, others are learning.
In Africa, I can say in Africa, social media blackmailers, if you call this man J. Israel, he's a king and a father. All other ones they learn.
Now, blackmailing is not what we are doing. And blackmailing, that thing he said, I'm sure that Jeremiah knew the meaning of what he said. Blackmail, you have people's information that is not good for public consumption, and you flash it to the person's face and say, I have this on you, and if you love yourself, pay me so and so amount so that I will destroy it. If you don't pay, it will be there in the public domain. That is just what it is. So Jeremiah named J. Israel king of blackmailers. And him and his friends have actually been called this name right from their time with the ugly truth page. And there are so many things that have transpired, and you understand. So Jeremiah actually humiliated J. Israel. Now, finally, the final point I want to make here is when he said God told him to come and restitute for everything he said. Now, what about the man, the pastor from Ghana that took him from Zimbabwe to Benin Republic? Will he also go to apologize to that one? Now, or is he actually telling us that everything he said about these guys were false? Is he telling us that all the people he mentioned their names and those he didn't mention their names but used analogy to explain, to talk about them? Is he saying that he lied about them? This is what I do not understand. Is he telling us that Hubert Angel did not come to his church and raised money and carried all the money away? Is he telling us that Hubert Angel did not come and begin to sample the girls in his church? Is he telling us that that even the interview he made with the former young pastor with Hubert Angel, what is his name now? I've forgotten his name. Destitute. Now Ashton Destitute. Is he telling us that he doesn't believe in that one? Is he actually making us believe that Bushiri is not whom Bushiri himself has displayed himself to be, and Jeremiah J. Israel, helped to shed more light on that? Now, I return. Is he telling us that the story he told about Elliot, how that he was giving several thousands in rams to be sure that the case was killed by Africa? Is he trying to tell us that those people that he hosted, those that told their stories of how they were, taken advantage of by his master, is he telling us that even he himself that said, maybe I should just stop, is a long list? So, are those things lies? But then we will stop here. He has begun his prophetic ministry again, so we wait to see how far and how well. And there are so many people that left church because of J. Israel. So what is he going to do to those people? Because now he's canvassing for people not to listen to people on social media. Albeit I know, but I don't have to stand here and begin to disparage anybody. It's not everybody that is criticizing all these things on social media that has the interest of the church at heart, that has the interest of Christ at heart. I think that so many people have found out that just come out and lash on pastors, even whether you are making sense or not, people will take it because there is so much hatred arising from what pastors are doing today. So, in fact, if you can even come lash out on pastors and endorse native doctors, people will like it more, because of what some pastors are doing today. So we understand that. But then, I've never canvassed you leaving your church. Please don't leave your church, except you are so sure that your church is an occult center. Then prayerfully seek the face of the Lord and find a place of worship. Then instead of being trapped, you can, as you are praying, be having fellowship with the Lord. But I cannot advocate for anybody to leave church. That is not what we are doing. So I want to end this video here now. Let me know what you think about all these things. And this video is becoming too long. I just have to cut it here. Well, anyway, let me know what you think about it. I'm going to post the entire video of the whole thing that J. Israel did in Jeremiah Omoto's church for your own perusal and viewing. God bless you. I will see you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.